here. It is 11:45. I really don't have that much time before I have to take a shower because I got something to do tomorrow because I got a cabaret to go to and perform at. So I decided, well, I was going to plan to do something today anyway for a vlog, so I'm going to do a list of books I recommend you guys check out. Now, don't expect any, like, detailed backstory or summary or whatever. If anything, I might just read the backs, I don't know. But yeah, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's one away from being a top 10 list, but I'm too lazy to go look for a 10th book. So yeah, top 9 books I recommend in no particular order. So let's get this party started. First up is a book that has been on a few other top 10 lists of mine, and that is Sweetblood. It is an awesome book. I've read it multiple times in the past because obviously you can tell from how the binding looks and the fact that the pages are basically yellowing beyond all belief. I honestly love this book. I was hooked on it from the moment I picked it up. Plus, I made multiple fan trailers for it, which I do mean to remake because my hair was too freaking short in those. So I'm going to remake those eventually. Sweetblood, recommend it. Next up is Clockwork Orange. And this is the edited American edition with the missing chapter. It's the chapter that was missing. Because technically, if I remember correctly, because I did the math a few days ago for this one, technically there are like 20 chapters, and it was missing the last chapter, because the book is separated into 3 parts, and each part has 6 or 7 chapters. Wait, it was, 7, 6, 7. So 7, 7, 14. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, yeah, so 20. So it was missing that last chapter. And the movie is based off the original American version, which was missing the 20th chapter, which is the chapter that picks up after Alex DeLarge basically is brought back to normal and cured from his little thing of being reformed and basically converted. So, yeah, this is the full version. I recommend you guys read it. Definitely not for younger readers, but young adults, possibly. If you've seen the movie, it isn't that far off from the movie, but the movie definitely did cut out a lot, and it did tweak some things, but for the most part, it is actually fairly close to it. So moving on, we have The Historian, which is a book I actually did a project on in high school my senior year, and I basically got hooked during the project, so I ended up buying the book myself, and I love it. It is of course a vampire story involving Dracula, and there's one thing I love about this story, and that's the fact that the main character has no name. You do not know her name throughout the whole entire thing, and it just leaves you creating your own version of the character and how you depict the character, or putting yourself in the character's space. And I like that. Plus, I love the detail. I love everything about this book. Next up is something similar in style as far as the fact that I love the detail, and that is Angelology. Keep in mind, I just started reading this. I started reading a lot of these at one point because I'm one of those people that's I start reading a book, I get hooked on it, then I get distracted by another book and go, ooh, I want to read that. And I'll be like, oh, I'll get back to this when I finish reading that. And the same thing happens with that book, and I get distracted with another one. So there are a lot of books where I just get halfway, or just about halfway. But it's just I started reading this one. I'm one of those people that's just it's not just the title, the cover, and the summary that get me hooked. I like to skim the first chapter, at least the first paragraphs, the first few paragraphs, to see how the writing is, and I got hooked. Once again, it's very detailed. I love the wording, and yeah. So there's that one. Next up is a book I've had for years. I've loved it. I've lent it out a few times, so I never really got a chance to really finish it because people would borrow it before I could, and that is Define Normal. If I remember correctly, I remember laughing at this so much, but not because it was being horrible or anything, because I love this book. I remember loving it. I remember basically falling in love with it the first time I picked it up. So if you can, pick this book up. I recommend it. It is awesome. And moving on. This one I've done a review on, and I'm going to redo a review of it hopefully very soon, because the original one just made me sound high and idiotic. And that is Night of the Living Trekkies, because I am a Trekkie. Keep in mind, I like horror movies, I like all things horror, and I try getting to zombie-related things and apocalypse-related things. It's just like, for some reason, I can't. It's not because I hate the idea, it's just, I just have a hard time getting into it. So when I saw this, I was just like, Star Trek and zombies. Interesting. Because I got introduced to this one via the book trailer, and oh my god, I am so happy I picked this one up. I was cracking up for the whole entire thing. You don't need to be a Trekkie to read this. I mean, granted, there are a lot of Star Trek jokes in it, but it kind of makes fun of nerds in general, too, at the same time. But it is awesome. It is a great zombie story, and I actually like the whole little way the whole zombie virus is spread, or at least what typically would be a zombie virus is spread. This time it's more parasitic, but I won't get too into detail. I will let you guys figure that one out on your own. So that is Night of the Living Trekkies. Moving on is something I read, I think this was my junior year in high school. Yeah. And that was The Things They Carried. Actually, I think this might have been senior year, actually. Junior, senior, one of them. But it's like, I love this book so much. I just got adored. I just got addicted to it. I adore it. I started rereading it again because, oh my god, this is another one like the historian where it's just like it's like I was reading it in class and I just started getting so addicted to it that I went out and got my own copy. So yeah, The Things They Carried, I recommend it. And another one is by an author basically just about everyone knows from Blackadder and House, and that is Hugh Laurie's The Gunseller. Because yes, he actually does have a book, and this, oh my god, I can reread the first chapter multiple times and still laugh. Because that's the thing, the wording is so awesome. I love this kind of thing. So yeah, awesome book. I say check it out. I mean, seriously, do it for House. Do it for House. And the last one is another one I got from school. And this was actually something I had to get as a textbook back when I was in creative writing class back in Lynchburg. And this is The Making of a Story, the Norton Guide to Creative Writing. I personally love this because, one, it puts things in terms that are still mature enough to the point where it doesn't seem like it's force-feeding all the information to us, but it also puts it in wording that the general reader can understand. So it's like you don't have to be a college student to pick this book up. And plus, it has tons of great exercises, tons of fun ones, and it has plenty of stories by authors out there, just like short story writers, poets, and whatnot. One of my personal favorites, and this one actually inspired one of my workshop pieces for class. Let's see if I can find it. No. Oh, ironic that there's something from The Things They Carried in here. But there's one in here by Joyce Carol Oates. I think it was. Hang on. Is this in it? No. But it's by Joyce Carol Oates, and it got me introduced to that one. And it was awesome, and I loved it. I fell in love with the story so much. It inspired one of my workshop pieces. And, oh, here it is. Where are you going, and where have you been? I love this piece, and it's basically. I think this is one of the ones called because Where Are You Going, Where Have You Been is basically a compilation of the stories she's done, and this one is for Bob Dylan, and I love this one so much. I got addicted to it. But yeah, this is a great book for any aspiring writers, and just a great book in general. I still love it. And I kind of want to make my goal to read through the whole entire thing instead of just going by what I was reading in class. So I might just start it straight from the beginning, from the making of the story. And that is it for my recommended books. I hope you like it. I hope you check out those books, and I will put the titles in the description. So, Got 92, signing out.